What's up, AfterBuzzers? You are tuned in to the official Lucha Underground After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV. Tonight, we've got a Gift of the Gods medallion match, a trios tournament match, and so much more. So stick around because you're not going to want to miss it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I didn't realize this started so fast.
I was like, is that Johnny? Is that Joey Ryan?
Nope.
It's Three's Company.
Oh, this is so good. I had no idea the song started so funky. That makes me so happy. Guys, welcome to the Lucha Underground After Show right here on AfterBuzz TV. Tonight we're talking Season 2, Episode 12, Three's a Crowd, hence our opening theme song. My name is Ty Matthews. You can find me on Twitter, on Instagram, at Ty Matthews PMA. If you're watching the video, it should be right down there in that cool little lower third. As always, my lovely and talented co-host.
Oh, you're so nice. This guy is, I'm Jimbo Slice. You can follow me on Twitter at the Jimbo Slice. That's the with two E's, TheeJimboslice. That's at the Jimbo Slice. That's the with two E's, at the Jimbo Slice. Ty is such a professional. If you would have saw him before we started rolling, he was ready to just pass out. And within 2 seconds, he instantly was just like geared and ready to go. Did an amazing intro. And we're ready to start this amazing episode.
You got to flip that switch, man. You got to... See, off camera, I was pretty much a zombie. That main event helped, though. Tonight's main event really helped. We will get to that.
Oh, man.
First, before we get into tonight's episode, let's get into the news of the day.
Oh, man.
AfterBuzz TV News.
I forgot there was a drop for that. That makes me so happy. Well, our buddy Ryan Satin over at Pro Wrestling Sheet reported today that Kevin Martinson of Championship Wrestling from Hollywood fame,
Also known as Johnny Goodtime.
formerly known as Johnny Goodtime, the artist formerly known as Johnny Goodtime, has signed a deal with Lucha Underground. And guys, on a personal note, I know I don't really hype Championship Wrestling from Hollywood as much on this show, but full disclosure, that is a show that I am involved with. I am an on-air talent, have been for 5 years, but Johnny Goodtime, Kevin Martinson, whatever you want to call him, is legitimately, without exaggeration, one of the most impressive and innovative competitors that you'll see. Mark, do you got something?
Yeah, the folks are seeing it right now.
Yeah, there you go, there you go. See, that's Big Kev. Call him Big Hunky Kev, BHK for short.
Is that what that stands for?
Yeah,
that's
BHK
great.
is Big Hunky Kev.
I was like, what does this mean?
Because he's big and hunky and he's Kev. And he's one of the only people where every single time I see him wrestle a match, I see something I've never seen before.
Really?
Which you know is so hard to do in wrestling.
Him and Jervis
yeah.
Cottonbelly was one of the most entertaining things I've ever seen.
Absolutely.
So good.
Yeah, definitely. And so I'm very, very excited to see where Kevin goes from here with Lucha Underground. Obviously, you know him. You've been...
Yeah, I remember like filming shows with him way back in the day when he was like fully like really embracing that like gamer type gimmick. And,
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
Hailing from his mom's basement, you know,
Right.
kind of stuff. Like,
Right.
And everyone was always saying like, oh, he's gonna do a heel turn and he's gonna come out with like the Nintendo Power Glove and he's gonna be because he used to bring like the power mat to the ring.
Yeah, the
and,
Nintendo,
like,
the
run
mat,
on it.
absolutely.
But yeah, I'm curious to see what they do with him and what kind of character he's gonna be. Like because of his gnarly big beard, is he gonna be like brother of son of Havoc or something? You know,
Right,
like,
exactly.
who knows? Like,
Yeah.
that'll be cool.
Cousin of Havoc.
Cousin of Havoc.
There you go. There you go. So yeah, guys, if you haven't seen his stuff, go to Patreon. You can check out all of Championship Wrestling from Hollywood's back episodes there. You can find us on Fight TV now. We're on the Fight TV app, as well as KDOC locally, U2 America nationally. Bottom line, check out Kevin Martinson. You're gonna be glad you did.
And with hiring, we also had a firing, kind of.
We did.
MVP came out and acknowledged that he had been terminated from Lucha Underground because he was hired as an agent, and in his contract he signed a non-disclosure agreement that apparently he violated doing his podcast and interviewing certain people that were part of the crew
Right.
of Lucha Underground. So I don't that podcast that got him fired is going to air this weekend. So I think it's on MLB whatever station.
MLW?
What it's like a podcast station that you pay pretty much to listen to podcasts. It's like what Jim Cornette does and all that. Yeah,
Okay.
like they used to have Talking Shop on there.
Right.
So, like,
guys, you've got the internet.
Yeah, he's that podcast releases this weekend. So if you want to see maybe what got him in trouble and where it's gonna go, listen to that. If not, hopefully, I was telling you before we started, I think maybe like this will be something that in a month from now everyone forgets about, and then when season 3 starts, it's like, oh, MVP's back, and it's like, yeah,
Right.
because why not have him there?
Exactly. Let's get into episode 12. Three's a Crowd. Now I just want that Three's Company theme just playing throughout the whole episode. That'd be cool, right, guys? You want to hear 70s or 80s
What if Lucha
TV
Underground
themes?
like started like Three's Company? Like Dario comes
Oh my
in the
God,
office
I would kill for that.
and like falls over the chair, and then
Well,
like
like Mary Tyler Moore.
Katrina pops up with
Yeah.
like the Suzanne Summers.
Lotus and Katrina are both just like,
I like it. I'll buy that for $1. Oh man, let's get into it. Speaking of Dario Cueto, we start in his office, the office of the proprietor, where so many amazing segments take place. He's back there. He's in his office with Johnny Mundo, Taya, and the man they call Cage. I'm sorry, they call him Cage. That's his, full birth name. They call him Cage. First name they call him, last name Cage.
hyphenated.
Exactly. Yes. And Dario Cueto, he wants this year's trios tournament to top last year's. So, of course, he wants a brand new, unlikely team that could go to the finals and win everything, a la Son of Havoc, Ivelisse, and Angelico from last year.
He even mentions like they didn't want to be a team, and like look at them now.
Right,
You know, like,
exactly.
Who knows what can happen?
And I love how kind of like transparent it is. Like Johnny Mundo guesses it right off the bat, and I really thought it was going to be some sort of swerve, like, oh no, actually I'm going to do this. But Dario pretty much cops to it right away, like, oh no, yeah, you got me. That's exactly what I'm
thought
doing.
that was funny.
Right. And then we were talking about it off air. Cage just like, I got a better idea. How about you put me in a match with him tonight? And Dario thinks about it for a second, and he says, no, I like my idea better.
That was great.
Some really, really good comedic timing from Dario Cueto tonight. So good.
And Cage is like, "'Cause I'm not a man." Yeah, you're a machine. We know. Get out of here.
Exactly. Because, yeah, really, from here on in, you've got to kind of just subvert that line. Like, he uses it so much, it has to become a bit. So I'm glad it has.
That's great.
But, yeah, Dario, he breaks it down to him. Basically, you're both looking for Lucha Underground gold, because that has, as of now, eluded both of you this entire time. So you've got a common desire. Let's team you with this girl. He introduces himself to her, and she shoots him down right away. She goes, I know
by
who
the
you
way,
are."
I'm Dario Cueto. And he like leaves it there, and she still doesn't shake it.
And the way his
takes
face
it back.
drops, the
Yeah,
way his
like-
face just drops to a completely different expression.
I was saying, it would have been so great if, like, when she didn't shake his hand, he just adjusted his nameplate that says, "I'm kind of a big deal." He would have just been like, "Here, let me fix that. Did you see this?" You should have shaken my hand.
Did you see this? Like, it's his
Like, he,
official
like,
title.
picks it up and, like, dusts it off and then puts it back down.
Exactly. Let's get into tonight's opening contest. The returning Argenis. We saw him a little bit in Aztec Warfare, but this is kind of his return to one-on-one competition since season 1, taking on a sort of newly made over kill shot.
Definitely a revamped kill shot.
Yeah, we got that vignette. We got more of his military background, and now we're seeing more of that reflected in his dress with the camouflage, the dog tags, his kind of almost his ritual that he's doing before the match, where he's almost praying to these dog tags. You've got to think that those are his missing brothers that he was talking about in that vignette.
Definitely. I liked this whole all of his mannerisms were different. Like before, when we've seen him, it was like this is Shane Strickland wearing a mask.
Right.
Now it was like, this is a different character.
Right.
Like he walks slower, he had the vest, he had the dog tags. I would have loved, like, instead of just a camo vest, if he had like the taxi driver style vest.
Oh yeah,
that would have been so cool.
That's actually really good.
I
Yeah,
was like,
definitely.
oh man, he should rock that.
Yeah, I think the kill shot of before might have been a little bit kind of slower, more methodical, whereas this one was a little bit more explosive. We see right off the bat, he hits that giant drop kick in the corner. I mean, and it even thematically, it makes sense. He's going for headshots. He's going for kill shots,
Oh, the Foley artists were working overtime in this match.
Man,
There
these are
so many.
some gunshot
Like, at one
sounding
point-
ass chops.
At one point, he was just like whipping him from corner to corner, and like while he whipped him in, he'd chop him.
Yeah, those
Whip him
jumbo
in and
jumbo
chop.
Ceruto whip chops, and like each one just sounds like a straight up sniper
Gunshot,
rifle.
yeah.
Exactly.
The one thing I would say is I wish that they told commentary the direction they were going with the character, because it didn't fit with what we saw last week with the vignette about his character. They're like, oh, I guess he's going for a military. Well, of course he's going for a military thing. We all saw last week. What were you
Yeah.
watching?
We got that whole story.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Yeah, we talk a lot about how the commentators kind of aren't privy to the vignettes or the backstage shenanigans on Lucha Underground. So I think it does kind of create moments like that.
For the office stuff, it's one thing, but for the vignettes, they should know.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, at that sort of backstory as a commentator is something that you should theoretically have like asked around about or researched, something like that. So that's a good point. Very good, Mark Donica.
Thank you.
But yeah, what do we think about the rest of this match? So much. I think one thing that really jumped out to me about Killshot in this match is how well-rounded he is. You know, I talked a lot back on the Raw after show this week. I talked about how this new generation of superstars that are being brought in are all so good because they're so well-rounded. They can strike and they can fly and they can grapple and all that stuff. And that's the sort of flavor that I'm getting from Killshot. You know, we saw a lot of explosive strikes, but we also saw like that Fosbury flop over the top rope.
Yeah, gnarly gainer over the top. Like
Exactly. And not only that, but some really deceptive power as well.
Yeah. He catches him in a power bomb, lifts him back up, turns it into like what you think is going to be an orange crush, and then spins around to a brainbuster.
Yeah. I think he calls that. I think he calls that the Revolution Brainbuster, where he sort of it's almost like a deadlift into that twisting brainbuster. And so yeah, like I said, just one of my favorite things is seeing guys that can do a lot of different styles, and that's definitely the feel that I'm getting from Killshot. What else do you think about this match?
I loved how I think he hit that brainbuster, and then he goes to the top. And the guy was like kind of sitting up a little, and he does like a frog splash into a double stomp.
It was a different, take on the top rope
was like,
double stomp.
oh, that's the kill shot,
Right.
You know. So I was like, oh, that was cool, you know. And then
definitely.
he hits this gnarly.
That finish. Are you talking about the finish? Let's talk about this finish, because the first thing I thought about is that it's weird because it's almost combining both of Kenny Omega's finishers.
Yeah, the Grapes Wrath.
It starts out as the Kreuzwrath, go right into the waist lock, and then kind of into the one-winged angel.
Yeah.
Just like completely compacting him. That is...
Because other people do like, like Kenny Omega, he sets you up like that, and then he goes back into the German.
Right, exactly.
And then like I don't know who does it, but they do the Gonzo bomb where they pick you up like that, and then they tuck you under.
Right,
so
right,
like,
right,
he's
right.
just like, oh, we'll put them together, and bam.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're not gonna kick out.
No,
'cause
yeah,
you're dead.
definitely. That is, it's such an impressive finisher. It's like something that someone would have created, like as a
video
finisher.
game, yeah.
Like, oh, what if someone actually did? What if a human actually
Like you
did
sat
this?
home with your toys for a couple hours, and you're like, hey, I came up with this. You want to try it?
Or it's like something. Oh man, do you know about endorphin wrestling?
You were trying to
Mark
explain
Donica,
this
do
to
you know
me.
about endorphin wrestling? Have I talked about this on the show?
I don't know if you have.
Man, guys, if you're watching or listening right now, please do yourself a favor. Go check out endorphin wrestling.
The top rope Canadian destroyer.
Yes,
You were like,
yeah.
that
So
is
like,
a move.
It's this weird animation program where people animate these stick figures and do these moves that would never, ever, ever be humanly possible or anything. Mark, do you gotta keep up? Because this is amazing.
Oh, wow.
Look at that cell.
Oh, my gosh.
So this is
I don't know, dude. A dragon run off of a cage. That could happen.
But I mainly like it because of the way the animation is, they have to sell so kind of like ragdoll-ish, and it just looks like people are dying, and on every single move. Oh, this is gonna be something. Oh, there we go.
Oh,
Some
that's
Motor City
Motor
Machine
City
Guns
Machine
action. Anyway, go
is
check
amazing.
out endorphin wrestling.
I love
So
it.
the point being, my weird long-winded convoluted point being, Killshot's new finisher looks like something I would see in an endorphin wrestling video. So go check that out, and then you'll have context for that obscure reference.
Really quickly though, AJ Fernandez in chats is saying no Foley sounds on those chops being there live. They sound exactly the same as on TV. Of course, live, more brutal.
Unbelievable. Wow. That is unbelievable.
And also, everybody else in chat is totally freaking out about Killshot's finisher.
Absolutely. Isn't that ridiculous? Absolutely ridiculous.
It just makes me wonder what else we're gonna see from people.
Right.
They keep pulling tricks out of the hat.
Yeah, we're barely we're kind of around the halfway point of the season.
Next episode will be the halfway point.
Yeah, right? What the hell else are we gonna see? Well, let's go into the next backstage segment. We see Dragon Azteca Jr. with Black Lotus, and Black Lotus is just fibbing up a storm. He goes to her and he's asking, how could you work with Dario Cueto? And she's, he's forcing me to do it. And Matanza's the one that killed Dragon Azteca. And that is 100% false. We know that because we watched her kill him. Yeah. We watched her kill Dragon Azteca. So that is going to come
She's
to
a double agent.
She is just like, at first I didn't put it together, but then the more I thought about it, the more I'm like, she's just straight up lying to him. Yeah. We because I forgot that we literally watched her kill Dragon Azteca.
Yeah. For a second I thought she was trying to play Dario, but then I realized no, she's just playing him.
That was my first thought. Then I was like, wait a minute, I'm dumb. We watched her kill a person. But yeah, so that I think that'll come to a super violent head at some point during the season. She pins Dragon Azteca's death on Matanza, which is easy enough because he kills things.
He's a monster.
But we go back to Dario Cueto's office and we see the newest addition to Lucha Underground. We see Daga, and Daga is someone that I knew absolutely nothing about before this episode. But he's hyped as kind of one of the hottest young stars in Mexico, and Dario Cueto wants to see if the hype's real, so he's going to put him in his very first match for Lucha Underground. He's going to put him in a match for one of the Gift of the Gods medallions. I know you've been waiting for this. I know you've been waiting for the resetting of the cycle. Yeah. So we finally get our very first kind of qualifying match for one of the medallions tonight.
But I liked how serious Dario was in the office, though, where he's like, hey, what are those gold coins? He's like, these are medallions.
Yeah.
They're not coins. They're not
great.
Plates. They're medallions and
great.
Nothing else.
That was great.
And so we find out that Daga is going to go one-on-one with Tejano tonight for one of the medallions. And Dario really does a good job of putting over Tejano as well. He says he's in the temple. He's the most vicious, bloodthirsty man without the last name Cueto, which I thought was such a simple and such a Dario-esque way of putting Tejano over as a legitimate badass.
He's a badass. Not as badass as I am, but he's a badass.
But still, he can crush beer mugs in his hand and whip people with rope and make it sound like a bullwhip. So, do with that what you will.
And that's not Foley.
That's not Foley either. So let's get into this match. Let's get into Daga versus Tejano. And I think I enjoyed this more than any other Tejano match so far in Lucha Underground. And I like Tejano a lot, but I really, really, really was into this match.
I loved his gear. His new gear.
Yeah.
I love the way it looked. I like what looked like spur tassel kind of like on the sides of his gear was great. Daga kind of like, I didn't know what to think about him because on commentary they're like, this guy wrestles the Japanese strong style.
Right.
So I was expecting him to come in, and then like when it started with the slap, I was like, oh, they're just gonna go toe to toe.
Right.
And then he got his ass kicked for a bunch and wasn't really doing any strong style stuff.
It was a little bit more lucha oriented.
Yeah.
I think because that is so much Tejano's wheelhouse. But we did see a lot of strikes. We did see a lot of maybe not a lot of submissions, but we saw that ankle lock false from Daga. But that opening sequence, let's talk about that. Just so a million miles an hour, move for move, coming to a standoff.
Pin, kick out.
Right, exactly. They were pinning each other quicker than they could even kick out.
And then you could hear, I don't know who it was on commentary, were like, these guys really are, they were former partners, and you could tell.
Right, exactly.
Very, very good.
And Vamp just stopped talking at a point going, I can't, I'm a fan right now.
Right, yeah, exactly. We saw a great tope con hilo from Daga as well.
Yeah, I loved like the chop clothesline.
Clothesline. Absolutely. It's little things like that Tejano does that I really love.
It's like, yeah, you really are a badass tough guy because you're just like, no, I'm gonna hit you twice.
Right, exactly. But yeah, really, they're matching up move for move. A lot of hard strikes. We see Daga go for an ankle lock at one point. Eventually, Tejano hits the sit out Liger bomb for the win and for the very first Gift of the Gods medallion.
Yes.
So we know
hand it to him instantly.
We know, at the very least, Tejano is advancing to the eventual Gift of the Gods match.
Daga hit some really great kicks in this match too, and I love the counter from the ankle lock was like a monkey flip.
And it's
Like,
such
it was
a high monkey
yeah,
flip.
it was just like something you never see. Like,
Right.
oh, he's gonna catch him in a small package. What's he gonna? And then he like monkey flipped him, and I was just like, oh, that
It's
was
so
cool.
simple.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta flip a guy over with just your
like,
feet.
keep it simple, stupid.
Exactly. Let's go to the lair of Katrina and Mil Muertes.
Oh, the candles are lit.
Where so much magic happens. There we go. There we go. We got our own layer here, AfterBuzz. That's right. Excuse me. We find out from Katrina that the Disciples of Death have kind of weaseled their way into the Trios tournament. They're begging for Mil Muertes' forgiveness.
I love how Katrina is like, they want your forgiveness, and as she like raises the stone and it lights up, the electricity came and they
Right.
all like stood back up again. I was just like, this is so freaking awesome.
It's a ghost from the 19th century
Yeah.
summoning electrical demons.
But if they were dead, how did they ask for entrance into the Trios tournament?
That's
A
a great
medium.
question mark.
A medium mark.
You know what? I buy it.
Dario has to hold a seance
Hook, line, and sinker.
just for
That would've
for
been
them
great.
to ask for matches.
That would have been great.
So yeah, we find out that they're in the Trios tournament, that they're they're looking to get those titles back. Not only that, we find out that next week we're already getting a one-on-one contest between Mil Muertes and Matanza for the Lucha Underground Championship.
Crazy.
I mean, that's something
Already so fast.
that I really it's one of those things once again that I really thought that they were going to tease for this entire season.
Yeah, I thought like next week we might get like a glimpse of like not an interference,
Right.
but like he's creeping in the shadows.
Right,
or, like,
exactly.
The temple starts to rumble and then it goes dark and electricity hits. Something like teasing. Okay, he interferes in a match and then like next week we're gonna have a match. Not like no, next week you guys are gonna fight to the death. And you
Right.
know.
Right. And we've already with such a simple line, Katrina really builds this match when she says Matanza may even be more powerful than the earthquake that created you.
And he's like,
It's really is legitimately a battle of gods, like Lovecraftian old gods.
And I think they were listening to us too when we were talking about maybe he shouldn't talk, maybe he should just grunt.
grunt. Yeah.
Yep, he just screams at some candles.
It would have been great if he grunted and then like hit and all the candles went out.
That's what I thought
you know,
was going to
like
happen.
all the candles have to go out.
That's
right
what I
now.
thought was going to happen because we've seen in Pentagon's
Yeah.
vignettes when he breaks people's arms, all the candles go out. I was really hoping for that to be like a continuing motif
that
in the
would've been great.
temple.
That would've been
I
so
think
great.
what they're trying to do with all of the one-on-one matches with Matanza is what if they're trying to get all of the one-on-ones out of the way and then they're going to start throwing multiple people at him.
That's a good idea. That's a good point.
Then we'll get a triple threat match with him and Phoenix versus Matanza.
That's a very good point. Yeah, absolutely.
He just wins the trios titles himself.
By himself.
Dude, I would believe it.
I would absolutely believe that. I kind of want that to happen. But we are already
To the main
to
event.
this main event, and let's talk about
To be
this main
fair,
event.
it was half the damn show.
This is true. This is true. Let's talk about Dragon Azteca Jr., Prince Puma, and Rey Mysterio taking on the new unlikely trio of Johnny Mundo, Taya, and they call him Cage.
I wasn't really feeling Azteca's headdress thing. I don't
No?
really like those. I think like on certain matches you should wear that out. But,
It should be
don't
like
wear
your big match.
Yeah,
it should be
like-
your Ultima Lucha
Yeah,
gear.
don't rock that all the time. But I love how like here's Taya, here's Mundo, and Cage just like powers through
Shoves
the two of
both
them.
of
It's like
them.
get the hell out of my way.
Right.
So awesome.
And I love the dynamic between that whole trio because obviously Cage hates the both of them and they hate Cage, but they still are kind of obsessed with gold enough to where they're still trying to win.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they might like forcibly slap each other for tags,
Yeah.
but they still are genuinely wanting to win and are still like really trying to beat Team Stoplight, as I call them.
That's great.
You know, you get it.
I love how
Yellow green.
I was but I was sad.
I
that we
got
didn't-
it.
I was sad we didn't get the from the 559.
It's
She was
all
just
good.
like
I
they
love
call
that.
him Cage.
I love
was just
it.
like what?
They still call him Cage.
What?
We just didn't get the area code this time.
I was very sad. About that.
Yeah, Melissa does. She puts so much extra mustard on it when she's announcing Cage in the temple. It's amazing.
So the
but
match.
this match was absolutely off the charts. Like watching it off air out on the viewing station, I was too tired to audibly react, so like my eyes just kept getting bigger and my jaw just kept hanging lower and lower with each new move. What are some of your favorite moments from this match, Shimo?
Oh, there were so many. I loved, just like in the intro, Dragon Azteca and Cage are going at it, and he's just like dragging him around in the headlock. He tried to like shove him off, and he's just like
he's kind of
he's just like dragging.
Exactly, his feet are dragging. He's completely dead weight.
Dragon Azteca.
There you go.
That was for you, Kathy Kelly.
Oh, slice, y'all. That is genius. But yeah, it's little things like that. Once again, it's the smallest, most minute details that can make all the difference in a match, and that really it made it seem like Cage was legitimately just dragging him by his dome piece.
Yeah, it was no big deal.
But we saw so much. I mean, like I said, the dissension between Taya, Cage, and Mundo, and kind of the Dragon Azteca Jr. proving himself, as it were, because we still haven't really gotten to see much of him. We really only saw him in Aztec Warfare, and even then he was getting kind of killed by Matanza. So here we got to see a lot of really impressive stuff from him. At one point, when everyone just starts shotgunning incredible moves and false finishes, it reminds you of why trios matches are such an integral part of Lucha Libre, because with that many people and with that many styles, especially on a show like Lucha Underground where everyone has so many different styles, there's no room to breathe. But in a good way. It's not overwhelming. It's not so much so that you're losing the plot. It's like watching Crank. It's like the wrestling equivalent of watching Crank or Crank 2 High Voltage.
Wow. Catch your breath if you can find the time.
Exactly, wow. Yeah. It's just like a million miles a minute. Everything's happening all at once. But like as soon as Puma dives through Rey Mysterio's legs, here's Dragon Azteca Jr. coming over the top of him before you even have time to react.
I didn't realize what they were setting up for. I was just like, oh, he's going to hit the 619. No. Why is he just standing on the ropes? Like, is he taunting them? And then here comes Puma. And then, over the top, I was just like, damn, these guys. They don't waste a second, dude. They're just going full throttle.
Flipping Cage, though, dude. Like, when he had, I don't remember, I think he had Azteca up for a Samoan. And then catches
I put that in my
Puma.
Notes.
Yes.
And throws them both over his back. I was just like, you gotta be kidding. This guy's a machine.
It's absolutely unreal, because luchadors are the best people to put in the ring across from Brian Cage, because he gets to do that one spot where they jump off the top rope and he catches them straight into a suplex position. And it's,
oh my god,
no matter how many times I see that, I audibly gasp every single time.
I love how Puma threw a kick and Cage blocked it and knocked Puma down.
Yeah, that was
like, damn.
another good moment. Yeah, he kind of does the double forearm block and just sends him right down to his face. There's also a moment, I think, at the very beginning where Dragon Azteca Jr. goes for a drop kick to the gut, and like he literally bounces off of him the way he would like if he kicked a wall. But it's moments like that. We also saw a lot from Taya. We talk a lot about the intergender wrestling on Lucha Underground, and even when that happens, sometimes we do get a lot of like they maybe hit that point a little too much on the commentary, like, oh, how could you do that to a girl? But in this match, it was just 6 competitors. Mm-hmm. Her and Johnny Mundo hit the Magic Killer at one point, and then I think there was one where Dragon Azteca Jr. drop kicks her off the apron and just drills her like the way you would absolutely anyone else.
Yeah, definitely no holding back.
Right.
She hits a needy aura.
Mysterio hit a sitting senton on her too.
Oh, he like flying teabagged her. It was ridiculous.
Right, yeah. But yeah, so much stuff. Eventually, as you knew it would happen, the communication between Johnny Mundo and Cage breaks down even further. Mundo goes for that springboard twisting kick, nails Cage in the face. Of course, Cage is not going to take that lightly. He hits Mundo with the discus lariat. Although I do want to talk about one moment with Johnny Mundo that really, I think it was the most believable false finish for me in this match. And it was where Dragon Azteca Jr. and Prince Puma hit this kind of double avalanche Rana from the corner.
Yeah.
Like Puma's got
On
him
his shoulders.
sitting on his shoulders. Dragon Azteca Jr. hits the Rana, and then Puma
hits
with
a 450.
with a 450 splash halfway across the ring at that. I really, really thought that was going to be it. And no one even broke it up. Mundo just straight up kicked out of that.
Yeah, there were so many times in this match where I was like, that's it? No, that's not it?
Right.
Like, wait, what?
Right. If it sounds like we're just like frantically just squeeing about this match, is because we are.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, go and watch it and you'll know what we're talking about, because it's absolutely incredible.
Taya hit a nice Northern Lights suplex, and then like I expected her to do the Puma like Northern Lights pickup deadlift.
Oh, the deadlift.
And I was just like,
brainbuster.
no way. She's about to bust that out. She hits the Northern Lights, and then she does like a nice double stomp.
double
I was like,
stomp.
oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. She's not a machine also.
Right.
And then she gets... she got buckle bombed into Mundo?
Ray got buckle bombed into her.
Into her. I knew she took somebody.
Yeah.
Like she was in the corner.
And that was another moment. So Rey Mysterio hits the ropes and he jumps at Cage, but he jumps at Cage in the weirdest, most awkward way. And Cage is so strong that he just keeps going without a hitch. Rey jumps at him almost kind of like sideways style, and Cage catches him almost in like a doctor bomb, picks him up, chucks him right into Taya.
There was also Rey was in the corner, like holding Taya back, and Mundo charged the corner that Taya was in, and Taya got hit by Mundo.
Yeah. That might have been Cage. That might have been Cage that.
I think it was two separate times.
That hit her.
Either way, Taya got messed
I
up.
think at one point in the match, they all hit each other.
Right. Exactly. Which is perfect. It's perfect. Story-wise and theory-wise, it's perfect strategy to just, if you're small and you're quick enough, to just keep moving so that your opponents keep hitting each other on accident. Yeah. We cannot finish talking about this match without talking about that DDT.
Dude, this end sequence was just insane.
Right, absolutely. Everything that happened, but let's talk about that DDT that Dragon Azteca Jr. hit.
I was going to call it the Dragonfly.
I like that.
Because it was literally like he floated in the air.
Right.
And then caught him in the DDT.
And like it was such an odd moment of flight, because as Johnny Mundo kind of chucks him into the air, his body sort of straightens out completely, and he just turns so perfectly into a DDT.
Effortless.
It's absolutely, you have to see it to believe it. I think I had read somewhere that I think Vinny Massaro might have tweeted about it being called the pizza DDT, because it looked like he was kind of tossing the pizza.
I wrote float DDT.
Yeah, it was absolutely incredible.
Houdini T.
Ooh,
that was good.
There you go.
It's magic,
man.
Oh,
I swear. Kind of
get
get signed, and it's just pun mania running wild here,
brother. 619, that gnarly DDT, and then Rey does a gnarly dive out of the ring to not onto Taya.
It was not to Taya.
Okay.
That was a seated senton.
Yeah,
right.
And then Puma hits the 630. And
Dragon Azteca Jr., Prince Puma, and Rey Mysterio advance in the Trios
tournament. Dragon Azteca does a dive to the outside as well.
Yes,
just to
exactly.
Make sure that no one's going to interrupt this pin.
Exactly. Bring it all full circle. Prince Puma hits that 630 splash for this trio to move on, and presumably for the Johnny Mundo Cage feud to continue, where Mundo will eventually show us where Slamtown is and what it looks like.
Haven't been able to find a good Slamtown excerpt for the board. Have not been able to find it.
We will.
It's entirely made of cinder blocks.
I have faith in you, Mike Flanagan.
You got me in the booth, Jimbo. That totally got me.
So after the credits, we finally get another post-credit stinger, which is always,
boy, was it a good one.
Always my favorite part of Lucha Underground is the mid/post-credit scenes. We get kind of a beautiful moment of bonding between brothers, between Dario Cueto and the Monster Matanza. Dario is explaining to his brother why he is where he is, and he says it's because, what do you do with your valuables? You keep them locked up. And it's kind of beautiful.
Yeah.
He says that no one understands the beauty of your destruction, and he kind of he touches his face in such a way that he's admiring this perfect beast that is his brother.
It was so good.
It's such an odd dynamic, but it's captivating, and you can't help but be entertained by it. Which I think you know what? We'll get into predictions. I'll get into my thoughts. But what were your thoughts on this, Jimmo?
I just loved everything. Like the lines were like so good, and it really made you feel. And it was like, oh, this is weird. Like we shouldn't like these guys, but wait, they really are brothers, and he really does care. He's not just using him.
Right, exactly.
And it was like just that line of like, you're so valuable to me, and what do you do with your valuables? You lock them up so no one can take them from you.
Right.
Like I'm making sure I'm protecting you.
That's still incredibly selfish, though, dude.
It was so good, though.
Of course. Like, we know Dario Cueto is, like, the legitimate devil. We know that. But I do think there's a part of him that legitimately cares for his weird monster brother.
Yeah, why not?
That killed their mother.
That's half god.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's half god. That's a god living in a
Trapped
weird,
in a man's body.
no-necked wrestler's body.
Man. I loved when he's like, and you know, you're gonna kill Mill. You're gonna bring death to the dead.
Death to the dead!
I was just like, oh.
What an amazing line that was. The man of 1,000 deaths. Like, versus the monster, versus the half-god monster.
Oh, man.
What the hell show are we watching, guys?
I don't know. What if they would have put that in his name instead of naming him like the monster Matanza Cueto? If it would have been like the half god, the monster Matanza Cueto.
Monster is a half god. He's Matanza.
Damn it, Mark. That's amazing. Now we've just got to make a whole animated intro for Matanza and Dario.
Oh, I love it.
Where they just skateboard and eat pizza. I don't know.
Give me a break.
I could see him being, what was it, Quang?
Quang?
Krang.
Oh, Krang.
No, he's the big body, and Dario is
Yeah,
Krang.
Dario's,
There you
Dario's
go.
inside.
There you go. Someone watching that's skilled with Photoshop, please make that.
Claire Bowie, you're on top
When
of
you
things.
when you said Quang, I was like, Savio Vega? That
no,
Quang?
not the Quang.
That being said, that does it for this week's episode. But let's get into some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Oh man, so what I was getting at before, when we're talking about this moment of bonding between Matanza and Dario, I feel like that Frankenstein moment has to come where Matanza turns on his brother and just like demolishes him. And that, I think that's going to happen this season, and that is going to be heart-wrenching for me to watch.
Wow.
Because we love Matanza, we love Dario, even though we're not supposed to. Dario, you can't help but love him. But I do think at one point Matanza's going to kind of get wise to the fact that Dario is just using him.
What do you think he's gonna do to him?
I don't know.
What if he like breaks his face and then Dario has like a Phantom of the Opera type mask?
Oh my god. With this show, there's no telling.
Yeah,
there's really no telling.
You can go anywhere with this.
He's
like,
going to give him the big Mabel leg drop. He's going to have to wear that weird white face mask.
Oh, I love it.
So yeah, I think that's where we're heading. It's going to be like a Frankenstein, kind of Frankenstein's creation moment where he turns on his creator, so to speak. But I don't know. Who knows what else we could do?
Something that you just made me think of right now.
What's that?
Like, what if Katrina gets control of the key?
Oh, interesting.
And like, what if the key is like the stone? Like the key is like the stone for Mill, but the key is that for Matanza.
What if Katrina gets control of the key and then Dario gets control of the stone?
Oh man,
Crisscross.
What if Katrina gets the stone and the key, and now Phoenix has a debt to her for saving him, and we have a new trio.
Oh man, Mark.
Literally unstoppable trio.
The man of 1,000 lives, the man of 1,000 deaths, and the half-god monster.
And the man who killed them both.
All on one trio.
oh man.
I like it. I love, this show is so fun to fantasy book.
Yeah.
Like, because
Anything
you can
can
just
happen.
get ridiculous with it.
We got time traveling dragons.
Absolutely,
You know,
of
like,
course. Why not?
where can we go
We've got
wrong?
glowing space nunchucks.
Yeah.
We've got werewolves that ride motorcycles to seedy desert motels.
A fellow chucker, eh?
Exactly.
Gotta bring it back whenever you can. Actually, speaking of that, somebody in chat said, if the theme of this trios tournament is dysfunctional teams, then will we see Jack Evans and Drago on the same side?
Ooh, who would be the third though?
Interesting.
Yeah, would it be Aerostar or would it be...
I think it'd be PJ Black.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the
that would
two.
make sense.
Who knows? Yeah. This is just making me want like a lethal lottery. Remember like Battle Bowl lethal lottery where everyone just like picks
And then that's
random
your team.
partners, right?
Yeah.
So good. I miss that.
I actually worked a show at APW that was like a legit version of that.
We did that at AWS
Yeah,
too.
it was like, yeah, you draw a name and that's who you're gonna go and wrestle, and just like, this isn't set up, this isn't a work. No, that's who you're gonna go wrestle, and everybody was just like, are you serious? Like
Bart did that at AWS.
it's like, this is wrestling, guys.
Oh man.
man.
So where else do we think this show can go? Where do we think the story with Killshot's gonna go?
With Killshot, I don't know, man. I hope he develops his character to be more like Taxi Driver-esque.
Right.
You know, like next
right.
week he's got like the Vietnam like cut
Sure.
off vest, and like he's a lot no talking, just slow, like taking people out. Like maybe we start to see him in the crowd like eyeing people.
Sure. We almost saw a look like that from Cage a little bit.
Yeah.
With the vest and the mohawk and everything.
Yeah, Cage is just a machine. He's a beast. He doesn't need to do the Taxi Driver.
Of course.
No.
Of course.
Really quickly, another thing from the chat from Luke Plea. Whose sibling relationship in Lucha Underground is more odd, Marty and Mariposa or Cueto and Matanza?
Oh man, more odd. Oh man.
I mean, is it odd to have your brother locked in a cage?
I mean, with this show, I feel like that's kind of one of the more normal aspects.
Or to have like a crazy sister
I feel like Marty and Mariposa might be a little bit weirder.
Yeah.
Might be a little bit weirder.
Yeah, he's creepy.
If you can make the devil cringe, I think you're doing pretty good.
That dude's creepy.
Oh man, it's exciting stuff all around. But you know what else is exciting, Jimbo?
What is?
Is DraftKings.com.
Oh.
That's what. Guys, let's talk about DraftKings.com for a second. Whether you're golf's biggest fan or you're just ready to try a new fantasy sport, you can play 1 week fantasy golf for free every week at DraftKings.com. You just pick 6 golfers before a tournament tees off, stay under the salary cap, rack up points for streaks, per hole performance, tournament finishes, and more. You outscore the competition and you could win. And everyone loves winning. Only DraftKings brings the excitement of golf to this level, with every monster drive and every made putt bringing you closer to victory. And DraftKings offers more than fantasy and golf. You can choose from a variety of sports to showcase your winning skills, like baseball, soccer, even mixed martial arts. Millions of sports fans just like you have already discovered DraftKings, and now it's your turn to get on the action. And the best part is it's for free. Fantasy golf contest begins when tournaments tee off, so hurry over to DraftKings.com right now to choose your golfers, and be sure to use the promo code BUZZ, that's B-U-Z-Z, to play for absolutely free. That's promo code BUZZ, B-U-Z-Z, to play for free, only at DraftKings.com. This isn't fantasy as usual, this is DraftKings. Oh, get it.
Get it.
Play some fantasy golf, y'all.
Maybe that's what Johnny Goodtime will be in Lucha Underground, a golfer.
A golfer?
No.
I've seen, you know what? We've seen some golf gimmicks work. We saw Hole-in-One Barry Darso. I dug that one. When I started wrestling, there was a guy named Douglas Calloway Driver. He was pretty awesome.
I would love to see him as like a gold miner.
A gold...
Because he has
Like
that
an old
gnarly
prospector
beard.
type?
Yeah,
Old
exactly, dude.
prospector.
With like exactly with like the jug with like the 3 X's.
The 3 X's, pickaxe over
Yeah.
his shoulder.
Exactly. Like
There's gold in that there temple.
Yeah,
What
maybe
if
that's
he's,
why.
What if he's a miner that helped exhume Mil Muerte?
You see?
Oh,
You see,
and he's
it's
after
never
the
ending.
He's
here.
after the Aztec gold.
Yeah.
I gotta get that Aztec gold!
Yeah, those medallions are gold.
Oh, phenomenal. Guys,
I like this gimmick.
We could go on for hours and hours and hours, but sadly, that does it for this week's edition of the Lucha Underground After Show. We'll be right back here, same time, same channel next week, talking episode 13. But for now, Jimbo, who are you? Where can they find you? And what is that lovely product right in front
This
of you?
product right here is a documentary I made called The Young Bucks Too Sweet Journey. It's available at highspots.com. Go pick it up. You could check out Lucha Underground stars like Matt Stryker, Brian Cage, and many more are in it, and they give their insight about the Young Bucks and just wrestling in general. You can find me on Twitter at the Jimbo Slice. That's TheeJimboslice. That's at the Jimbo Slice with 2 E's on Twitter. That's at the Jimbo Slice.
There you go. You can find me on Twitter, on Instagram, at Ty Matthews PMA, as well as on Monday nights for the Monday Night Raw After Show. I believe we're going to be trying to hit up some Lucha Underground tapings, so if you're going to be in attendance, tweet at us. Let's say hello. Fantasy books, some weird Mil Muertes, Matanza fan fiction storylines. Who knows? Also, remember remember, Kevin Martinson is coming to the Temple, so catch up on him. Go to Patreon, check out Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, or check us out on KVOC locally, U2 America nationally. And remember, if you're listening on iTunes, remember to download, review, subscribe, rate, 5 stars if nasty. As always, if you're on YouTube, leave us a thumbs up, comment, or tweet us, Instagram us, whatever it is. We want to talk about Lucha Underground with you. So with that being said, join us next week. We'll be right back here. We hope you will be too. But until then, viva la lucha!
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.